Good evening. Today is day 323 of my Happiness Fixation Challenge, and today is quite possibly my greatest holiday day of the year. I started the day off by going to Design a Shoe Warehouse, where I got 2 pairs of shoes on clearance. Of course, always go clearance when I shop there because their shoes are kind of expensive. But I hit the jackpot. I got a pair of sneakers as well as some like slip-ons so that I can slip them on before I go to work, and I don't have to worry about tying my shoes. And I got that for $54, just $4 more than my gift cards, which is just awesome. That was an awesome Xmas gift that just turned into double what it could have been. I then got lunch and went to my brother Tyler's for D&D with the brothers and Gianna as a guest, and that was super fun. That was just, we're talking like 8 hours or so of D&D, just a crazy ton of D&D. We went from levels 1 to 3. We fought an undead minotaur, an undead minotaur, a live minotaur, a specter, multiple waves of skeletons, zombies. We fought a carrion eater. We talked to innkeepers. We had to do explorations. Had to do soft equation and like interrogations, door puzzles. There was this one statue which read, "Lord Barrington, generous to the faithful," and we were trying to figure out how to get this sword out of the statue's hands. And I was like, I solved the puzzle and we got the sword. No one in our party really used it, but it's still really cool just like having that in the game. I got a wand of magic missiles, which is great because I'm the only character who can use it, so it's not even a contest, like that goes to me. And it's just really cool. I think that my brother Jason's the one DMing it, and you can tell he put a lot of thought and effort into the story, and it was just so much fun. I think that all three of us, Charles, Tyler, and I, all have quirks about our characters that are very annoying, but I think that's what makes our characters so fun, is that these quirks are flaws. The reason they're quirks is because they're character flaws, and they are noticeable character flaws that the three of us play, and it is frustrating. It's annoying, and that's what makes our characters so real. People get annoying. People have strengths and pros and cons. Like Trippy, my brother Tyler's character, kind of mumbles or kind of just goes off and does his own thing, and if people don't notice, people don't notice. Like he's just that's how he's always kind of been. Kind of think like he's picked up the mannerisms of a drunk person because he learned how to be a monk from these drunk fighters, he's picked up those mannerisms even though he doesn't drink. So think of your drunk friend who's like really drunk comes over and is like, "Hey, yeah, guys, like, yeah," and then like literally just leaves, and like people might not even notice. People might just look at him and go like, "What the fuck?" But also like Trippy is a monk, and so does crazy things, and he's a halfling monk, so he can like flip over enemies and dive underneath their legs and give us advantage. And it's just so cool because like no other character can do that. We had a lot of the situations where we're standing in a hallway, and Trippy essentially can go through the square that the enemy's occupying and just do crazy things and give us advantage in situations where we wouldn't normally have that. It's super cool. And then we had a lot of other crazy things. Charles's character did a whole bunch of stuff like just crazy damage, and Charles was playing a intelligence 8 barbarian who's just convinced he's the smartest person in the world, which is fun because obviously there's a lot of shenanigans he can do with that. And Gianna was playing kind of like a criminal background rogue, so we have to worry about that stuff. It was just a lot of fun, just a really good time. And it reminds me why I'm so addicted to Critical Role. I'm so addicted to that kind of video game-esque environment, but at a role-play standpoint. Like, you really get that personal feeling for it because of that real-time time passing. That being said, I got home, right? Like, I've already had a blast of a day. Great time. It's like 1 in the morning. I'm exhausted. I get home, and Lupe had like said, "Oh, there's some gifts for you." Well, sitting on my bed is a brand new towel and New Year's Eve accessories for like taking photos. And I'm like, that is so cute. Like, I'm so glad she thought of me today while she was out on a girl date with Chloe. And I'm like, that's so fun. the photograph accessories, and it gives us an excuse to take a photo together, and it'll be a fun photo, and then I can make that my next profile picture, and that's just fun. And so I'm excited about that. Towel's super soft. Of course it is. The big on it. It's probably always going to be super soft. But the other thing she got me is super soft too. We'll talk about that next. And then I get to the lunch. I go to eat leftovers because I'm hungry. And there's tamales in the fridge, which I'm bringing all of them to work tomorrow and eating them all because I love homemade tamales. And I'm like, I can't believe I got tamales and a new towel and New Year's accessories. You my tamales. Life is good. I'm coming down to make this video about all this crazy stuff. Well, guess what? Come down and a new comforter down here. This girl bought me a new comforter, king size. Well, it's a good day. Probably the best day. Probably the best day of the year, I gotta say. I've had some really good days this year, but I really think that the only thing I could have made today better is if I had gotten to see Lupe for a large part of it. I think that, I did get to see her a lot yesterday. And yesterday meant a lot to me, but I do think that today is a really big difference. I think that maybe if she had gotten to be part of the D&D for a few hours with Gianna, both of them could have double guest star. I think that probably would have made today better, but I think that aside, today was just such a good day. I just really feel blessed today. So that being said, I hope that you have this crazy amount of super awesome, fun, great things going on for you, and I hope you have a good one.